Yeah, and then what did the Lyft driver say?
And then he was like, oh, you're going all the way to Acton for a dentist. I was like, yes, but this is not an ordinary dentist. So I started telling him about the importance of the tongue in terms of like its connection to deep front line, how it's how it can connect to the feet and the way we stand, and how rest of the bones in our body basically uses this deep front line as a pole, so that they place themselves relative to like this standing structure that we have. And like I started talking about the importance of the tongue and like the skull, and because my tongue was tied, how like my upper jaw was narrow because my tongue couldn't support it, and how I was having like all these neck problems. Like even today when I was sitting in the car, I told them, oh, back in the day I used to work, like I wasn't able to put my head back in the car seat. It just like it took so much effort. And today I was like, so he was like, oh, you seem like you have such great poise and blah blah blah. I was like, thank you. Thanks to this. I was like, I used to be able to like sit like this only, and like my entire like chest was like head tension, neck head tension, and like trying to sleep like this or put my head back was impossible. Now I'm a back sleeper.
Wow.
That changed.
We did the Thai release
in October.
Yeah,
October
3.5 months ago.
Yeah. And like even now I feel the differences. Wow. And like I used to not be able to sleep backwards, not because like my tongue is like, it's not that I was choking on my tongue, but it's simply because there was so much tension on my neck that I couldn't put my head back and like make rest of my body adapt. Like I would be like, crooked. Right. Now I sleep on my back. And then I told them how when I was like learning about this, there's a lot of components to this. So like I can't just go to a dentist and get it laser cut. Right. Like teeth is part of it, jaw is part of it, airway is part of it, nose is part of it. And I told them like, oh, well, when I did research, I was looking for this holistic approach, and there was only one person in the entire Massachusetts that does that. And then so I started talking about you. And then I told them how we're moving on this journey or progress, right, whatever he likes to call it, because this is not just like me coming here, you doing snip snip, and then I'm like good to go, like this is a comprehensive journey. I don't want to keep saying journey, but this is what it is in the end. Like how Jessica is helping me with Maya, how you guys are keeping track of it, how like even now, like after the procedure, you did the craniosacral, like you just
did you feel that? Did you feel
I felt it. I felt it here, and I felt that you felt it too.
Yeah, I felt it too. Something dropped in me when I could feel it.
Yeah, I knew you could feel it. The moment you touched me, I was like, wow, she's a healer.
Oh.
It's funny because as you were cutting like the lip tie, I could see like your glasses and like those weird things. I was like, oh, angels come in robotic form as well. It's also because light is shining, kind of like that end moment, and then you see the goggles. I'm like, okay.
I agree with you.
What?
It is a moment that separates the humanness and the practitioner from the person on the chair.
Yeah.
And maybe it's actually good for that clinical moment.
Yeah.
But I think like putting my hands on your sides, what I really felt was in your brain cycle. Your brain cycle, your cerebrospinal fluid has a brain cycle.
Interesting.
Because it pulses in your brain. Your brain cycle went from short bursts to like really long bursts of expansion and contraction, and that's when I left you alone, because you were on a roll on your own. You didn't need me. I kind of need to step out of your energy field then and just let you kind of roll with
Thank you. Yeah, you really do listen and see the whole
Thank you.
And like you also provide the support. That's why I was like, oh, you have such feminine energy, like so
Thank you.
comforting, delicate, but not necessarily weak. When I say delicate, it's not weak, it's gentle.
Right.
And like very healing. It's like, yeah, I was like, oh, this is what it feels like to be in presence of like this healing.
Oh,
feminine thing. So
you
yeah.
just said thank you so much for seeing me too.
Oh, thank you
Yeah.
for like being here. I
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna get emotional, but yeah, this means a lot to me. And like I've spent so many years trying to find release in many different ways and feel more comfortable, or like feel like what I am feeling is not like a shell. Like I always felt so cramped, like
Right.
whatever I did. So it's interesting that you brought out this short bursts of energy, because that's how I am constantly. There's no space.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough space to expand and just be. And like
You're crying. I'm sorry.
yeah. Oh, don't cry.
It's okay.
I'm so happy for you.
Yeah,
Because tears are strength and vulnerability.
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
You're finally getting a beautiful release.
Yeah.
And let me
thank
tell you one thing. You actually asked for it. So for anybody who's gonna watch this video, you
I came to you
you
for
empowered yourself.
Yeah.
You asked, you let me and my team assist, and then we all allowed. And that
Thank
really is healing. And you
Thank you.
you're strong.
It's so hard to like figure everything out on your own by yourself, that like it just means a lot to me that you guys provide this support, because like I never had any good support system. I even left home when I was 14. Like
Wow.
I do everything on my own.
Right.
And so yeah, it's just really important to me that you were there for me when I asked for it, and like you didn't question, you didn't think this was crazy, you didn't think I was making it up, because I could always see these connections. It's just I can't explain it to people. When I tell them I feel like constricted, is that the word? Yes. They don't believe me. They're like, oh, you look normal. Yeah, but what do you define as normal? You know, like
Right.
it might look normal because it's not utterly crippled, but like I don't feel me.
Right. But so
yeah.
the warrior in you didn't want to keep feeling what you were feeling inside.
No.
And you went against a lot of people and belief systems to be
Including
here.
my mom, who's a dentist herself. I think that's an important detail.
I wasn't gonna go there unless you were.
but that's true. Like even my mom was like, oh, I don't think it's gonna create as much difference as you think, or like, oh, it's not constricting your speech. I asked for a lip tie release in 2018 actually. After I read about tongue a lot, but I'm really glad that I didn't get it back then, because no one that I know or have seen has an understanding that you do, and now I, like, thanks to you, I do as well. Like if I just had it like released, I don't think it was gonna be useful.
I agree with you.
So I'm really glad that they didn't
Release you.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
didn't let me have it, but even now they were against it. My parents, my dad's a doctor, my mom's a dentist, and but now I feel the difference. She can argue as much as she wants. Like, I feel the difference. I'm the one who's living in this body, and like the thing is that if you can live at your 100%, why would you settle for a 60% because it's manageable?
Right.
Like
Being mediocre it's crowded.
Yeah.
Being mediocre. Many of us are manageable. Many things we do in life are manageable.
yeah, and I don't want that.
I'm really, really proud of you.
Thank you.
To stick with it, because there are aspects of this journey that take input from you. And you stretching your face out feels
Yeah.
good, and you're
It
feeling
feels great,
emotional.
Finally, I can breathe. Like something as simple as breathing, I had to struggle all the time, like as if like I'm trying to get a breath with a, you know, like a plastic straw underwater. I had to constantly reach up for it, and it's tiring. Like I'm only 26, and like I was already tired, and it's not fair, you know.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be normal, but not normal looking, normal feeling free, feeling like I can breathe. I know, like, people go through worse, and I've gone through worse too, but like just this being on top of everything you go through, like you have to struggle through with this as well, something as simple as breathing. You're just like, give me a break. And then you never have a break because you're always in your body.
And breath gives us the power to deal with everything.
What?
Breath and breathing
Yeah.
gives us.
Yes. Even when I was a kid, whenever I would cry, I would be like
Now you did a beautiful cry.